Thankfully, it is Thursday because we have the latest edition of Florida Weekly out with the presentation editor, Eric Radich, joining us in studio.
Hello.
We are super excited to have you here, Eric.
Glad to be here.
And okay, so on the front cover of your issue this week, it's a big thing about beer. And coming from Wisconsin, when I moved down here, there weren't too many craft beer options, but now it seems to be really picking up.
Yes, and if you take a look at our cover this week, you'll see we take a little variation from our usual excellence in journalism, and we just crack a cold one open. If you like beer, as does Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh and our writer Roger Williams, you'll be happy to know that the grand tradition continues in breweries around Southwest Florida. Roger sits back as several brewery owners pop back one with him and tell stories of their entry into the love of beer until now. And oh yes, this week in Florida Weekly, there is beer here.
In the business section, yeah, that was good.
Like
Have you sold those in your day?
I haven't.
Baseball game?
Before, I'd like to do it for a day.
That would be fun.
It'd be fun.
The business section this week, the Southwest Florida Community Foundation, they're up to some really cool things.
Yes, and we know how much influence the Southwest Florida Community Foundation has had in our community. They've been so engaged and so involved with a track record of accomplishments. Well, they just reinvented the once historic depot downtown and have added on to it to transform the site into a regional collaboratory. So what is a collaboratory and what led to this vibrant office space for nonprofit tenants? How has Sarah Owen, the director, brought this community to the table with a vision for optimal collaboration? Be sure to pick up this week's business edition and find out.
And in arts and entertainment, I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but for the 13th Annual Sanibel Islands Writers Conference, you've got a really cool keynote speaker that you're featuring. Yes,
and if you love writing, and if you love reading, and you love learning about how to write and read, there's a best-selling authors coming to town, including one best-selling novelist, Anne Hood, will be here in Sanibel to give a keynote speech, but there's also a bunch of other authors and workshops that you can check out at the Sanibel Writers Conference, their 13th year. Check out our A&E for plenty of other fun you get into with this upcoming conference.
Top Picks, always a favorite, because you kind of help us as to what's going on around town.
Yeah, there's plenty to do, so there's no excuse not to get out and have a good time, and it just seems like we're getting more and more well-named people coming to town this week. Last week was Bob Dylan. This week is son Jacob Dylan with the Wallflowers. Steve Martin and Martin Short are performing at Artist Naples. Toto, Lyle Lovett, to name just a few, and much, much more. If you're not sure what to do, get out with a friend or make a new friend or just go out by yourself. Plenty to do in our Top Picks Arts and Entertainment.
Remind us where we can get Florida Weekly.
All over the place, all over town at FloridaWeekly.com, on your device, on newsstands all over the place.
Charlotte Collier Lee, right?
Oh yeah, Charlotte Collier Lee. And also if you're in the East Coast, Palm Beach, West Palm Beach, Key West, and a recently added Venice edition.
Congrats, that's awesome.
Covering it everywhere, and if you really don't even know where to find it, on your app you do have a little location thing.
Yes, if you're not sure if you're nearby, you can find out where you're at and where the closest one is to you to pick it off the racks or online.
All right, Derek, we will see you next week. It looks
Thank
like
you.
we're moving ahead here.